Hello everyone, welcome back from a long summer hiatus. This is David Zaritsky for the Bond Experience, and we've got a special video. So it's been a little bit of an expanse of time, so we had to make this a good one. So why are we in front of the collection? Well, we're going to be talking about fan-made James Bond items. Think about how innovative and how tenacious the James Bond fans are. Some of those that are actually watching today. If it's not made out there, you're going to make it. You're going to find a way. We're going to show you some of the favorite pieces, some of the most rare, quite frankly, that were so inundated with somebody wanting them that we, the fans, created them. I mean, take this piece, for example, the rebreathers. I keep saying rebreathers, but they're just breathers that were made and designed by two individuals from AJB. And they're absolutely beautiful pieces. Obviously they became licensed, but as we travel along here we find some of the even smaller ones, like an individual overseas made Teresa's wedding ring from Her Majesty's Secret Service from 1969 and done absolutely beautifully in different types of metals down to the very specifics. And that's mostly because this individual just did not find this, could not get it. The licensed one was rarer than hen's teeth, but said, "This is my desire." I mean, there's lots of evidence throughout all of the James Bond collections of these type of things, and it really gets to the ingenuity of who we are. In fact, some of the most detailed items are some of the most fun. I love these things. Look at this. They're actually octopussy tattoos that a very able-minded gentleman had made. So, I mean, there's really no end to what we can do. So, where does this come into the Bond experience? Well, as we move over to Skyfall, you can clearly see what outfit I'm wearing. And this was a situation where the Enjoying Death outfit, the Enjoying Death shirt, was much talked about. Zara Youth, no less. So it's a youth-made shirt that they used, that they customized a little bit. Some people were able to find one, but you had to buy a bigger size. They were going for hundreds upon hundreds of dollars. I think the most expensive one went for $800. And everybody said there must be a better way. So I was able to find a Zara Youth shirt. It was way too small for me. I think it was a small, which is like an extra small on me. And we sent it overseas to a friend of ours, Leonard Hart. Hope you're watching this right now. And we said, what can you do? And you know what? Due to the amazing tenacity and ingenuity of people, we now have Enjoying Zara shirts. Now, fair balance. This is it right here. The fabric, the detailed, the pattern, which I know is hard to see on camera, is really fantastic, especially in this lighting. It's probably going to be a little difficult maybe if I go in here. But the pocket placements, the pocket sizes, the buttons. There was some darting in the original ones in the back, but there's no darting now because, quite frankly, this is certainly trim enough. But it wasn't without its challenges. A lot of us received these, gosh, I think over 100 people that ordered them from Hart. But it was a long time ago that we ordered them. Let's see, what got in the way of this? Well, first of all, there were manufacturing problems. So, God bless Hart, he had never done this before. So he was dipping his toes in the waters fresh. So there were all of those challenges. There were floods. There were babies, not babies in the flood. Hart wife had a baby. So that was a distraction. Everyday life. Sizing issues galore. Arms as long as apes. So I am actually wearing, let me just grab something real quick. I am actually wearing an extra large, but it fits me like a small medium. So there were sizing issues galore. In fact, this is a medium that I received in. And this medium would probably fit me like a small or an extra small. So sizing issues, which could have been cultural issues, could have been that the original manufacturer went off of the Youth Zara. Whatever the controversy is, it's a challenge, and it's still being delivered today as a challenge. So right here, I actually had this tailored. So it was well too long on me. It was like a dress. And I think somebody actually said online that the little extra that he had from tailoring, you could make into a diaper. So somewhere out there, there's Enjoying Death diaper shirts. But nice packaging. I mean, you know, I got, 007 out of 100, so 100 of these shirts made, and Hart had a nice box, black box with the scorpion on it and Enjoying Death. And obviously, even those tags, which I'll show you once again. I know I'm popping in and out of the camera. I'm doing everything wrong. Even the tags in the back was really well designed, a lot of detail, but this was an homage specifically for the fan because these shirts were not easy to come by. All of the projects that had to do with clothes and costuming have seen a lot of muddy waters. Let's take a look at another example. So no doubt a lot of you recognize this particular outfit, really highlighting these two tops that I'm wearing right now. So the first one is the famous Madagascar shirt. Incredibly soft, done by the costumer from the movie. And this was a project of Simon and Paul's, who really took it underway to not only get the right fabric, not only to invest their own time and their own funds to make it perfect, but to really create the ultimate piece of Bond lifestyle kit for us, the fans. And for those of you who have followed that thread or even received a shirt yourself or were part of that tumultuous project, it was love. It was passion. It was all these different things. There were so many times on these journeys where people say, why am I doing this? I mean, I wanted a shirt. Well, I could get a shirt. I could have something custom, but then there's this gala of individuals that want one as well, and they want it as perfect as possible. Now, let's face it, if we like James Bond and we like some of these finer things, we like it to be a certain way. We're very particular about these things, and Paul and Simon delivered in spades. So I love this piece. This is the Madagascar shirt. It's the correct trim fit. It's the right pattern. It's got all the proper tagging. You can see that it fits like, you know, a costume designer did it for you. It's extremely comfortable. This is my go-to shirt when it's warm out, even when there's a chill or you've got to wear kind of a Hawaiian shirt. I know Paul himself has even worn it golfing. Incredibly comfortable. The biceps fit very well, and it even has kind of the little tab detail if you can possibly get that. So no expense was spared. The amount of research that went into this was phenomenal, but it needed a partner. So who came out of the woodwork but Magnoli? Now, a lot of you know Magnoli from making Doctor Who outfits, making Goldfinger outfits, etc., but he found pictures of the Diesel shirt, the shirt that Daniel Craig wore underneath that particular shirt in the Madagascar scene. And not only did he say, you know something, I want the correct stripes on the bicep, I want the scoop neck, so you know that this is not a really high crew neck, it's more of that boat neck type of loop. But on top of that, I even want the shirt detail. And that is the correct detail of the shirt that they used in the movie. So obviously, Magnoli wanted it to be perfect. And here's an extra one just to kind of show you some of the detail down to even the internal part. So, you know, he has the little pink or mauve ribbing in there as well. He's got the seam line going across. He's got even the same flourish that gives kind of a nod and an ode to Diesel. But the Diesel shirt is impossible to find, as was the Madagascar shirt. So being tenacious and doing a lot of research and looking into that pushed the way to making these available. And now we fans get to wear them and enjoy them. But that's not it. So say what you will about Quantum of Solace. Inarguably, some of the fashion, some of the highlights, some of the Bond experience, the watches, the sunglasses, the knives, even some of the bad guy's outfit were pretty spectacular. But something that was incredibly iconic, you know, besides the Tom Ford polo that he wears, which is very similar to the Sunspell in the movie, was the Harrington jacket that he wears towards the end of the movie. And I love the fact that they gave it so much screen time because it's very Steve McQueen. I mean, it could have just popped right off of his back. But the Tom Ford one, which is extremely rare, there's a couple people out there, Blair, who have either a production one or one that came from that run. But I mean, you can find one with leather piping, you can find one made out of a different material, but even the wrong ones, you're going to spend thousands upon thousands of dollars. Well, in walks Daniel Love. Guys, that's not a Bond name. That's actually his name. Daniel Love was dying for a correct Harrington jacket, and he made one. And the reality was his first one was okay. It was a little thin, color was a little off, but you know what? For people that didn't want to spend thousands of dollars, it was under a certain price point where people said, you know something, I'm going to pull the trigger, and they were happy. But that wasn't enough for Daniel Love. Daniel Love was like, no, I'm sorry, no, this is my passion. I want a Harrington jacket as correct as possible. If Tom Ford's not making them anymore, I want to do one as close to the movie as possible. And so what he made, affectionately called, was the jacket, the Harrington Jacket Royale. And I love this little ode that he's done in there. But you'll notice he's got the amazing interior. But I've got to try this on for you to truly appreciate the details that he's picked up. Now, I've had the correct Tom Ford jacket. And so I'm able to compare a lot of the details. First of all, from a fit standpoint, he got the fit perfectly. So obviously it should be fitted. And folks, you know this is the real world when I can't get this damn thing zippered. There we go. But even the zippers with kind of the arrow point Tom Ford zippers in leather, he got that right. The fit of the pocket, the size of the pocket, with the buttons and everything like that, with the small tabs. A lot of people in their replicas forget the tabs. He did not. The correct area of this, and even the tabs in the back. He aligned those perfectly with the correct color buttons. And even the color of it itself. It's got that really deep midnight blue. I mean, it's more than navy. It looks almost black, to the point where people thought it was black in the movie. Where a lot of people get this wrong is the collar. So the collar not only stands up very well, but it's squared off correctly in the right areas. It's rounded in other areas. It's got that very, very Barracuda Harrington type of look, as well as the shoulders. The shoulders should grip you when you move your arms in together. And you can see how this is doing it, but not to the point where I can't move myself up and move around. So this is an action jacket, and that's one of the reasons why they picked that Tom Ford one. And that's where Daniel got this really right. This is, the fabric that he used is spot on to the Tom Ford one. I've seen a lot of these Harringtons. I bought, I've done a video on how do you get one at Old Navy? How do you get one at the Gap? So I've had every iteration of this, including the correct one. This is it, folks. I love this, and I'm being careful to not endorse too heavily any of these, but I got to tell you something. The passion that he put into making this the right evolution of a collectible, but something I wouldn't mind wearing every day. I mean, I didn't spend so much on this that if I get this hooked on a nail or something like that, I'm not going to cry me a river. Tom Ford one, Blair Ballard owns a correct one out there. Damn him. He'll tell you. I mean, I think he probably puts bubble wrap around him when he wears his out. Not with this case. But it's a testimony to this guy's love, and because of that, everybody's been able to take advantage of that. Now, I am the first person to tell you that, if possible, you get the right thing. You get the right watch, you get the right jacket made by the right thing, but not everybody can do that. Why should Bond be out of everybody's reach? There's a reason we do frugal bonds. There's a reason that these people make these things, and it's part of their passion. Nobody's getting rich off of this. In fact, every one of these projects, I'm telling you right this because I know these people very well, and I was a consultant on the Enjoying Death one, they lose money, I promise you. But people have a collectible. You're part of the legacy of this Bond experience, this moment that these fans create. So, go out there, enjoy, get your own piece of the action, and we'll see you next time. This has been David Zaritsky for the Bond Experience. Take care.